Hey, ASTROBUG here with Suirad,
Hey,
and we are going to talk about all of these planetary alignments that's taking place around the 10th. We have the lunar eclipse, Saturn and Pluto conjunction, we have Uranus going forward, and we're going to talk about what all of this means symbolically for everyone. Okay, so we are going to get started with Cancer. Cancer is in the fourth house. We have the moon and we have the north node here. Now, Cancer generally symbolizes the emotional state of a person. Now, we have the Cancer north node here, and we have been dealing with our emotional state, our home body. This could be your physical home, domestic, family. It can be your body in and of itself, the home you live in, when you wake up, when you go to sleep. Um, and of course, your emotional home. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you depressed? All of those things are important.
now wouldn't it jump it up a little more even because Cancer rules the moon?
Yes. So, because Cancer rules the moon and we are having this lunar eclipse, we are getting a strong sense of a closing and ending with this lunar eclipse. We are finding something ending and something else beginning anew for us. Um, and with the lunar eclipse, it is the shadow side of the earth. So
Mm.
when you think about it, the earth is our home, and we all symbolize the greater energy of the planet we live on as well. So there is this dark side of us coming into play whenever we have a lunar eclipse. What is going to be exposed? And if you look at the opposing side, you have the North Node in Capricorn. So many of us have been dealing with our our private self versus our public self. How we feel emotionally, which is usually private for some of us, and what are we presenting to the world? Our careers. You may have been feeling a pull, a dissonance from what you do and what you show every day, career wise, um, from what you are experiencing personally.
Now, would that be trying to find a balance between with Capricorn and Cancer, you know, you're at home versus your work? Is that a balance? Is that what kind of we're shifting into with the that's why a lot of people are working from home, things of that nature, that kind of shift there too.
Yeah, definitely. We are finding that a lot of people are working from home now with this Cancer North Node. And we are finding that people are just coming back to themselves, even. A lot of people are getting involved with spirituality, trying to find their own home base in this world, and moving away from the rat race, from the climb, right? We have the sea goat who works its way from the bottom all the way to the top. And we're finding people saying, I don't want to do that anymore. And with all this energy in Capricorn, we are seeing something be reborn really here. Um, all of these energies coming together are letting us know that there's a major shift taking place, and it's really going to be a wild ride.
Okay. So how does Saturn and Pluto's conjunction play into effect with all of this?
Well, Pluto generally rules the eighth house. Um, and it's really about rebirth. It is the phoenix who rises from the ashes. So deconstruction, and Saturn is reconstruction.
Hmm.
Saturn is about building. So something is going to be destroyed so it can be rebuilt. And you have the sun here. Now, the sun and the moon are literally opposing each other, They're 19 degrees. If you're into numerology, 10 in and of itself is about completion. So this a cycle coming to a head. And if you have been following astrology, you know that even in a couple of months, the North Node and South Nodes are going to shift again. So it is about a culmination of events taking place and finishing out a cycle.
Okay. And then, so with the Jupiter being there as well, I'm assuming Jupiter's expansive energy plays a role in this as well.
Yes, Jupiter is about expansion, is about experiences, and it is going to magnify everything that we're feeling. I mean, we even have Mercury in play here. So you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be talking about it. It is going to be communicated across the airwaves. Um, and with Jupiter here, I mean, Jupiter and the sun are going to reflect these energies and really just enlarge them. So, on the grand scale, if you've been watching the news, you've been seeing these energies play out. You have been seeing a lot of Capricorn rules the government, a lot of interesting events, laws taking place, setting new precedents, just a lot of change and upheaval. And we all know that the US is a Cancer because of the 4th of July. So the US is a Cancer. So specifically, if you do live in the United States, you are going to be seeing so much of these planetary energies taking place here. And the US is going to feel it. If you're a cardinal sign, if you're a Cancer, you're going to be feeling it. If you're a Capricorn, you're going to be feeling it. If you have North Nodes in Cancer or Capricorn, you're going to be feeling it. So no one is going to be left out of the group here.
Speaking of all this change. Now, what about speaking of change, Uranus going direct in Taurus on that same very day? How does this play into all this change that's going on?
Well, Uranus in and of itself is representative of change. So it's no surprise to me that during this time, Uranus is going to go forward. It's going to pop up and say, hello, getting ready for major unexpected changes. But it is also in the sign of Taurus. Taurus, a second house ruled by Venus. So it is an appreciation. It is more a shallow version of love, the superficial changes that might take place here. But it is compacted by a trine with Jupiter and the South Node in Capricorn. So, whatever change is going to be taking place, now you have a trine with Jupiter. So, that is going to expand that. And then you have this South Node. So, it's going to be past, so it's going to ignite. We might have a callback to something that has happened in the past. Because it is the South Node, we might have a karmic repayment, maybe something if you're still thinking of like the US, maybe something the US has done in the past. And basically, chickens have come home to roost and we're going to have a karmic debt in whatever has taken place here. Uranus loves change, but Taurus doesn't. So that's going to be fun. There's going to be a resistance to change here with this planetary alignment. And we'll be going through many experiences with it that'll take work with Jupiter here in Capricorn. The luck is in the work. It's not just by happenstance like when it was in Sagittarius, where it was just in experiencing and taking those leaps. This is more about the work that you're putting in, your own climb. So this overhaul is going to be something that takes place over time. It's not just going to be a one-off.
Any advice for, I guess, mainly the Cancer Capricorn group that might be experiencing this change, or really much anybody that's going through this? Because we all are going to have these planets in a certain house, or the stellium. Any advice specifically, since the moon is in Cancer and in Capricorn? Any advice for these folks?
Yes. So with all of these changes, the best thing you can do is just be flexible. With Jupiter and Capricorn, you don't want to take any uncalculated risks. You definitely want to be really thorough about the risks that you do take. You really want to take your time with everything that's happening and be as flexible as you can. Check out your charts to see when the best time it is to move. But also, don't be afraid of change is the biggest thing. There are a lot of changes that are going to take place. The way things used to work aren't going to work anymore. As we are beginning the strive to Aquarius, being innovative, beginning those processes of being innovative, not being afraid to make mistakes and keep working. Because, I mean, with all this energy in Capricorn, when you're talking about success and achievement, there's also failure. There's always going to be failure. So embracing failure is just an experience. That's what Jupiter wants us to do here. That's what we do have on our side, is that we can create a lot of experience for ourselves. So when the shift fully takes place, right now we're in a transition, that we have kind of a launching pad for ourselves, and we're in a better position versus having no experience, not knowing what to do right, not knowing if we did anything right, if we did anything wrong. So that is really helpful here. And just going with the flow is the best thing that you can do, and not being afraid to do something different. I wouldn't say put all your eggs in one basket necessarily, but I wouldn't say jump the gun. That's the best word. Don't jump the gun. Take your time and plot along and go with the energies at play. That's the best thing you can do.
Okay. We learned a lot today. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for joining me as we talked about these aspects and what things are meaning as, you know, the world is changing right before our very eyes. I hope that you have, I wish you all the best during this time. And everything is what you make it. ASTROBUG